Pigeons might look harmless, just little birds pecking around in the city. Some people even see them as symbols of peace or treat them like part of everyday life. But behind that calm look, their lives are full of struggles and danger. Birth in the city. You hatch out of your egg and the first thing you see is a mess. No trees, no fresh air, just a dirty ledge on the side of a building. Down below, cars are honking, people are yelling, and sirens never stop. From the second you open your eyes, life is already noisy and stressful. Your nest isn't some soft, cozy home like you see in cartoons. It's basically a messy pile of sticks, trash, and maybe even a piece of plastic your parents grabbed off the street. And you're stuck in there with a bunch of brothers and sisters. Everyone's squished together, all of you screaming at the same time for food. After hours of squeaking and waiting, your parents finally show up with dinner. But don't get too excited. They don't bring worms or seeds like in cartoons. Nope, they just throw up straight from their mouth. Warm, mushy, half-digested food from the street, served fresh from mom or dad's throat. That's pigeon fine dining. But here's the real problem. Your brothers and sisters want it too, and nobody waits their turn. They shove you with their little wings, peck at your head, and jam their beaks in first to slurp up the vomit before you can. If you're weak, you stay hungry. If you're strong, you might grab a few mouthfuls before the rest is stolen. Every meal turns into a little battle. You either shove your way in and fight for the food, or you sit there with an empty belly. And even if you do manage to win, it's never enough. You only get just enough mush to keep breathing and growing, but never enough to feel full. Welcome to life as a pigeon. Life in the nest. You're stuck in the same spot for weeks, and guess what? Pigeons don't do spring cleaning. Nobody's sweeping, nobody's wiping. You're basically sitting in your own poop every single day. The nest floor turns into a squishy brown carpet, and every time you move, you're stepping in yesterday's mess. It's less home sweet home and more public bathroom nobody cleans. The smell is awful. Around you, there's old food scraps, piles of poop, and random junk your parents dragged in to build the nest. One day, you're lying next to a plastic bag. The next day, it's a cigarette butt. That's what counts as fancy furniture in a pigeon home. You're in this dirty little nest until your wings grow strong enough to carry you out. But the second you're ready to try flying, you look up and notice shadows moving in the sky. Hawks. They've been waiting the whole time, like they had your first flight marked on their calendar. So when the big day comes and you finally flap out of the nest, it's not some happy, look at me, I can fly moment. Nope, it's more like, please don't let me be somebody's lunch. Your very first flight isn't freedom, it's a chase scene. You're flapping like crazy while a hawk dives at you like it just placed an order for fast food. Life on the ground. The second you land on the ground, you find out it's just as dangerous as the sky. Cats are hiding in the corners, tails flicking, ready to pounce if you get close. Rats run around the trash cans, and even they look at you like, nah, this is our spot. And humans? They're the worst of all. If you land near them, some try to kick you, while others yell at you to get lost. People don't even call you by your real name. You're just a rat with wings. Imagine being insulted by both species at once. That's the kind of PR pigeons get. You hop closer to a person hoping for crumbs, and instead you get a boot swung in your face like you're playing dodgeball with your life on the line. And when it comes to food, things don't exactly get better as you get older. You're still stuck eating whatever shows up. Maybe it's a piece of bread someone dropped, a cold fry on the sidewalk, or a pizza crust next to the trash. Some days you score big. Other days, it's straight up junk. Plastic, gum, even cigarette butts. You peck first, regret later. The problem is, most of the stuff you eat isn't even real food. Bread fills you up, but it's like chewing paper. No energy, no strength. Fries taste good, sure, but they're just grease that makes you sluggish. And trash? That'll straight up make you sick. So even if you spend the whole day pecking at stuff, you're still weak, still hungry, dragging your wings around like you've been skipping workouts your whole life. Life on the ground isn't much better than being in the air. You spend your time dodging attacks every hour while chewing on whatever scraps people leave behind. Hungry, hated, and always on edge. That's your daily routine. But just when you think you've got the streets figured out, humans step it up. They don't just hate you, they build traps, block your nests, and even poison the food you find, which takes us into the next part of your struggle. Humans versus pigeons. City life turns into a non-stop fight between you and humans. The air itself makes your feathers greasy, so you can't fly as fast, but that's only the warm-up. Humans notice you everywhere, and to them, you're nothing but a flying problem. Every time you land, you leave behind little bombs, a fresh splatter on a car, a statue, or a store sign. People come outside in the morning, see their windshield covered, and immediately put you on their personal enemy list. Some even walk around muttering about pigeons like they've declared war. And humans don't just complain. They go full Home Alone mode. They put sharp spikes on ledges, hang nets across corners, even dangle shiny junk to scare you away. You're just trying to sit down, but to them, it's a war zone, and you're the enemy soldier. But all that doesn't scare Pigeon away. They squeeze into tight spots, stack up some twigs, and lay their eggs anyway. Then one morning, a human shows up, tears the whole thing apart, and tosses the eggs like they're garbage. Sometimes it's even worse. They leave out food that's poisoned for Pigeon to eat, and by the time they realize, it's already too late. Weird pigeon tradition. You'd think pigeons act like normal birds with nice little love dances, clean homes, and a bit of romance. Nope. Pigeons do things their own way, and it's honestly kind of weird. From how they flirt to how they raise babies, it all feels like the knockoff version of what other birds do. Look at the nest, for example. Most birds make something soft and comfy. Pigeons? They just grab whatever trash they see, sticks, plastic bags, cigarette butts, even a straw wrapper, and dump it in one spot. And cleaning? Forget it. They just keep adding more junk and more poop until the whole place looks like a trash can. It's like growing up in a bedroom where the dirty clothes, old food, and diapers never get taken out. That's a pigeon home. And it's not just the dirty nest that's weird. Even the way pigeons drink looks different. Most birds scoop some water, tilt their heads back, and swallow. Pigeons don't bother. They just bend down and slurp it straight up like they're sipping through a straw. Doesn't matter if it's clean rainwater or a gross puddle by the street with oil, gum, or even a cigarette floating in it. They'll sip it like it's fine dining. For a bird that lives in trash, it's kind of funny how fancy they look when they drink. And then there's pigeon dating. If you thought human dating was awkward, pigeons take it to another level. The male chases the female around in circles, puffing out his chest and bobbing his head like, "Yeah, girl, look at me." He coos, he spins, he just won't stop. To her, it's less romance and more like, "Why is this guy stalking me?" Most of the time, she just flies off. But if she stays, it's only because she gave up. If humans acted like this, somebody would definitely be calling the cops. When they finally become a couple, pigeons show love in the nastiest way possible. They press their beaks together like they're kissing, but really they're just swapping spit and half-chewed food. That's romance for them. For us, it looks like two toddlers smashing their faces together over a melted ice cream cone. Then there's the diet. We already know they'll eat fries and trash, but pigeons go even further. They'll peck at paint chips, paper, even tiny rocks. If it fits in the beak, it's worth a try. They're like toddlers who never grew out of the eat-everything phase. At night, pigeons don't go chill in a tree like normal birds. Nope, they just crash anywhere they can, on a traffic light, a billboard, or some random window ledge. Half the time, the spot looks so awkward you're sure they'll fall off. But nope, they just sit there, half asleep, wobbling like little feathery squatters camping out in the middle of the city. So yeah, pigeons don't just struggle in the city. Even their daily habits are messy, awkward, and kind of gross. Surviving the different seasons. Winter hits different when you're a pigeon. No warm house, no blanket, not even a roof you can actually claim as yours. You're stuck out in the cold, shivering on a ledge, trying not to freeze your little feathered butt off. Food? Forget it. Summer was bad enough, but at least you had crumbs and fries lying around. Winter comes, and suddenly, humans stop eating outside. No picnics, no sidewalk snacks, no dropped hot dogs. The best you get is some old bread somebody threw out last week, now frozen solid like a brick. Good luck pecking at that. And every morning, you and the other pigeons gather at the park, hoping today's the day someone brings food. Maybe you get lucky and an old lady appears with a bag of crumbs. When she does, you all act like she's Oprah handing out free cars. But most mornings, nobody comes. Just snow, ice, and the sad sound of your empty stomach. Shelter isn't much better. You try to squeeze under a bridge, huddle with your cousins on a window ledge, or hide in a parking garage. None of it's warm enough. You just sit there puffed up like a balloon, hoping your feathers can trap enough heat to survive the night. And then summer comes back around, like a part 2 nobody wanted. You already know what it's like, the heat blasting, the sidewalk burning your feet, and puddles that taste like gum and car oil. Same struggle, just on repeat, reminding you summer was never on your side. No matter the season, all you're really doing is trying not to die. That's the pigeon calendar. Winter means freezing and starving. Summer means boiling and thirsty. Spring means finding a new spot to dump more eggs. And fall is just the same thing, but colder. Basically, it's a never-ending cycle of pick your misery. And here's the sad part. Even if you fight through all that cold, heat, hunger, and chaos, most pigeons on the street don't make it past 3 to 6 years. Between humans chasing you off, hawks hunting from above, and living off fries and chips, your body just gives out faster. But if you're one of the lucky few that gets picked up by a human who actually cares, your life is completely different. In a safe home, with real food and no predators, a pigeon can live 15 years easy. The catch? Out of a whole crowd of pigeons, maybe only one gets to have such luck. The rest of you just keep rolling the dice outside. The end of a hard life. Getting old as a pigeon isn't graceful. There's no retirement plan, no rocking chair, no grandkids drawing you pictures. It just means your wings don't flap as strong, your landings get sloppy, and suddenly you're the slow one in the flock. And in pigeon world, being slow is a death sentence. Picture this. A hawk spots you from the sky. The younger pigeons take off fast, scattering everywhere like popcorn popping. But you're slow, breathing hard, wings barely keeping up. You look like an old grandpa trying to run after an ice cream truck. The hawk doesn't waste time, swoops down, grabs you, and that's it. And if the hawk doesn't get you, the city will. You're flying low now, wings sore from trying to get home. Then out of nowhere, a bus. Bam, you're gone. Nobody stops to check if you're all right. Life in the city just keeps going. And if death doesn't come quick when you're old, you're stuck dealing with the problems that come with age. Your wings don't carry you like before. Every flight feels like dragging bricks through the air. Your eyes go blurry, so younger pigeons snatch the scraps before you even notice them. Your feathers thin out, leaving you ragged and cold. You stumble along the sidewalk, not even looking like a bird anymore, more like a piece of trash the wind forgot to blow away. At that point, getting hit by a bus almost feels like the easier way out. Most pigeons never even live long enough to grow old, but the few that do usually end up wishing they hadn't made it that far. That's the sad life of being a pigeon. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and maybe leave a like too. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.